Model Engineering for Beginners, Part 26, the boring part. Around Christmas 2019, one of my kind viewers, a man called Dan, sent me this. It's a boring tool. In the previous episode, I showed how I used a reamer to get a good finish on the hole down the bore. I need the hole down the centre to be a bit bigger, and also I need to bore out the end part to take this die. And for that I need to position the boring bar in the tool holder so it doesn't stick out very much. But first it's the longitudinal boring job, and this is a boring job, in both senses of the word. I really wish on my small lathe I had something that would knock the power off when the saddle got to a certain position on the bed. This would be useful because whilst boring the part I could do something else. But sadly no, I don't have that facility, so I have to watch what I'm doing because I don't want the tool post to hit the end of the work. That's not going to happen for a while anyway, so I'll just sit and watch it. After I managed to adjust the trans-wave 3-phase converter to accept the lower input voltage and work, it seems to be working fine, but now I have another problem. After I fixed the trans-wave, I did a small amount of routine maintenance which included repacking the bearings with grease. And now the bearings are packed with grease, the lathe is slowing down. Further investigation showed me that the main drive belt from the counter shaft, that's the bit that's connected to the motor, to the headstock is a bit slack and needs adjusting. I'll feature this in a future video when I adjust the belts. Getting back to the job for a moment, I'm using a digital caliper to see what the diameter of the current centre hole is down the work. Originally it was 5/8 of an inch, and it's no good if the hole down the rest of the work that supports the die is less than M16, the size of the die. I'm not boring out this centre hole to 16mm, I'm making it bigger for a little bit of clearance. The whole purpose of making this die holder is so that I can cut a thread that will fit into a camping gas cylinder so I can make valve adapters. Now it's time to machine the end where the die is going to fit. As I showed previously, I don't need much of the boring tool sticking out of the holder, so I'm moving it back a little bit. In this close-up you can see what I'm doing. First of all, I'm taking a test cut to approximate the size that I need the hole to be. This hole that I'm making on the end of the piece of work needs to be an accurate fit for the die, but it doesn't need to be tight because this is an expanding die, and if I make it tight I can't expand it. Time to measure the outside diameter using the caliper, and I'll use a combination of the caliper size and by physically fitting the die into the hole once it's machined. This time a bit more boring for a change. One thing that I haven't mentioned that I think I need to mention. I removed the part from the chuck to turn it round so I could work on this end. What is very important is that the die sits in the end of this, in this sort of position but eventually much deeper. And the centre of the die has to be perfectly in line with the hole down the centre. If it isn't, then it's a major problem because the hole in the middle of the die would be held eccentrically. And that is why I've bored the hole all the way through the centre, and now I'm working on the outer part in one operation. I must not remove it from the chuck at this stage. Otherwise the hole that I'm machining in the end to accept the die would not be in line with the hole down the centre. At this stage I need to also make sure that I don't bore too deeply into the end of the work. Once again I'm taking a measurement from the die, but this time it's for the depth and not the diameter. A few technical details. This boring bar is a negative rake boring bar. So what's a negative rake boring bar? If you want to know in great detail all about rakes of lathe tools, then I suggest you type something like negative rake into Google. There's a Wikipedia page that explains it very well. I'll briefly explain what it is. Negative rake is when the tool tip tips downwards. This has good points and bad points. The good point is the tool is less likely to dig in on materials such as brass. What I'm doing here is just checking the depth, and I think that's about right. So now I can continue the boring process and open out the hole to accept the die. You may notice that it's getting quite warm. This is a big disadvantage with negative rake tools. They take a lot more pushing through the work and generate a lot more heat. From a boring bar point of view, I normally use either a no rake tool, which is flat, or one that tips up a little bit. and then I adjust the centre height of the boring tool to get the most efficient and cleanest cut. But with this boring tool I'm just living with the heat. It really is hot at the moment. After quite a while I finally get the opening to the right size. As you can see, the die isn't a tight fit. If the die was a tight fit, I would not be able to expand it. In this clip I'm showing the use of a boring bar for facing. After a few passes, the depth of the hole is now exactly the same size as the die. In this clip I've changed to the usual tool and I'm taking a very fine longitudinal cut. And as you can see, it really is hot if you compare the heat that's been created by this tool, especially if you use the last episode as a reference, and it's nowhere near the amount of heat that's been generated by using this negative rake boring bar. Back over to the workbench now. I've taken the part out of the chuck and I'm just cleaning it up using a cloth down the centre. After completing the boring job, the boring bar doesn't look any worse for wear. I'd like to take this opportunity to compare it with a boring bar that I would normally use. Here it comes. You can clearly see the difference. The boring bar on the left, the blue one, doesn't have any negative rake, so the work stays cooler. Here's the finished item. Well, not quite finished. I have some other things to do at it, but that will be in the next episode. If you're watching this, congratulations for getting to the end of this boring episode. Thanks for watching, and I hope you found it useful.